Hello students, this is Shweta Roy. This video is for Chapter 5, Part 1, History. The earliest cities, the Harappan civilization. In this video, we are going to discuss about what is a civilization, the earliest civilization, Indus Valley civilization or the Harappan civilization, discovery of this civilization, major centers of the civilization, main features of the civilization, the end of Harappan civilization. So these are some of the topics which we are going to cover in this video. Here we have an activity for you so that we can check your progress till now. So you need to draw a picture that resembles the Great Bath which was found in Mohenjo-daro. Second is storehouses or the granaries. Now this Mohenjo-daro, Harappa and Lothal, they had elaborate storehouses. The largest building which was found in Mohenjo-daro was granary, and that was 45.71 meters long and 15.23 meters wide. And these type of 6 granaries were there in Harappa. Now they used to keep the surplus grain in these granaries. So basically the granaries were used for storing surplus grains. Now near the granary, a circular brick platforms have been found, and that was probably used for threshing grains. So you can have a look of the picture of granary. Next is assembly or town hall. So there was a structure found in Mohenjo-daro which was having 69 meter long and 23.4 meters wide walls, and it was 1.5 meters thick. So this kind of structure was found in Mohenjo-daro, and this was maybe used for administrative block or an assembly hall for meetings. Then there were fire altars. Some of the cities like Kalibangan or Lothal, they were having fire altars. So these were the places which were probably used for sacrifices. They used to perform sacrifices over these places. So now we will discuss about lower town. So in upper town, we had the Great Bath, storehouses or granaries were there, assembly or town hall, and fire altars. So these things were there in upper town or citadel. Now we will discuss about lower town. So this lower town was generally in the eastern part of the city, and this was larger, but it was lower than the citadel. And basically this area was a residential area where common people used to live. Now this lower town was surrounded by high walls of baked brick so that it can be protected from flood. houses of the common people were generally 1 or 2 story, and rooms were built around a courtyard. There was a courtyard, and in that rooms were built, and the houses were separated by narrow and straight lanes, and they were made of baked bricks, and the size of the baked bricks were uniform and good quality bricks were there. Now most of the houses were having a separate bathroom, kitchen and a well. Now some of the houses were of 22 rooms, and the number of rooms were vary from each other. So it was from 2 rooms to 20 rooms. So by this you can see the people that time were having a comfortable life. Now we will talk about the drainage system of that time. So the Harappan people had an excellent and well planned drainage system. So if you see their drainage system, you will find that they paid great attention to sanitation and cleanliness. Now the drains which were there in the houses, that were connected to the street drains. The smaller drains which were there, they were connected into bigger ones. So there was a chain of drainage system were connected to each other. The street drains which they were having, that was running along with the street in straight lines, and they were covered. Now each drain had a slope so that water could flow through it. Also they were having inspection holes at the regular interval so that they can clean them. So you can see how systematically they have made the things. Now we will discuss about the streets of that time. So in Mohenjo-daro, the main street was over 800 meters long and 10 meters wide. And the streets cut each other at right angles. There were round corners so that the heavy carts can take an easy turn. Houses were made both sides of the street. So the houses, drains and streets were planned and built at the same time. Now we will discuss about life of the people in the city. So the people of Harappa, they were included several social groups like rulers, craft persons, scribes, merchants, trades and manual laborers. So many of the social groups were there in the Harappan cities, and the cities were very busy. You can see the activities of these social groups. Now we will discuss about ruler. So they were the people who planned the construction of special buildings in the city. They used to send the people to distant places to bring metal, precious stones, beads and other things. Whatever they wanted, they used to send people to bring that. Also they kept ornaments of gold and silver, precious stones, beautiful beads, etc. for themselves. So ruler were the people who planned the construction of special buildings in the city. Now craft persons. So in craft persons, men and women both were there, and they used to make all kinds of things, either in their home or they would be having some special workshops. So they were making the things. Now scribes were there, and scribes were the people who knew how to write. So they used to prepare the seals and they wrote on other materials. They used to write the things. Now merchants and traders, so they were engaged in trading the goods from one place to another. This was the work. Now like this you can see the work was divided into different peoples. Different social groups were there, and like this the work was divided among the people. Now we have the craft making. So the people who were making these crafts, they were generally making the things of stone, shell and metal, copper, bronze, gold and silver. So these things were used to make the crafts, and these things were made under the supervision of specialists who could have been both men and women. So some specialists were there, and under that the craft people were making the things. Now what is the meaning of specialist? So specialist is an expert. He is an expert craft person who is actually trained to do only one kind of work. For example, cutting stone, polishing beads or carving seals. So he is trained in one kind of work. He is specialist of that work. Now we have raw materials. So these raw materials were the substances which were found naturally, like wood, ores of metal, they are found naturally, or they were produced by farmers and herders. Now these materials were used to produce final or finished goods, like farmers used to produce cotton, and cotton is a raw material. Now that raw material, which is cotton, is further processed and it is changed into cloth, and the cloth was finally used by the consumers. So like this they were using the raw materials and making the goods. So the people of Harappan civilization generally used to locally available raw materials, but sometimes they had to bring many items like copper, tin, gold, silver and precious stones from distant places also. So some of the materials which they brought from the places, like they brought copper from Oman, which is in West Asia, and present day it is in Rajasthan. Tin they used to bring from Afghanistan and Iran. Gold, present day Karnataka was the place for gold. Precious stones, present day Gujarat, Iran and Afghanistan is the place. So from these places they used to bring the raw materials. Now sculpture. So many statues and figurines, many statues and figurines of the human and animals were found in Harappan sites. And in that, a stone statue of an important man which was found from Mohenjo-daro, and the bronze statue of a dancing girl, the statue of a young bull, and a strong watchdog. They were the important famous sculptures which were found from the sites. So by looking at these sculptures, you can find that the people of that time had made remarkable progress in the art of sculpture. They were very good in this art. Next is tool making. So Harappan people made tools and weapons from copper and bronze. And the tools which were basically used were axes, knives, spears, fish hooks, etc. So these were the tools which were used. With these they also continued making tool from stones also, and probably a new class of metal smiths had emerged. Now ornaments. So Harappan people used gold, silver, copper, bronze, shale and faience to make ornaments, and both men and women used to wear these ornaments. They were fond of the ornaments. And what were the ornaments they used to wear? So they used to wear rings, bangles, necklaces, armlets, bracelets, earrings, etc. So these were some of the ornaments which they used. And the rich people probably used to wear ornaments of gold and silver, whereas the people who were poor, they used to wear the ornaments of shale, copper, bronze, faience, etc. Now pottery. So the Harappan craft person, they were skilled potters. They were very good in pottery also. So from the sites, the archaeologists have found beautiful reddish glazed pottery with different designs. Also the potteries were of various shapes and size. Copper, bronze, gold and silver were also used to make vessels. Now seals. So a large number of seals have been found from Harappan cities, and that was made of stone. Basically they were rectangular in size and there were animal carved on them. Spinning and weaving. So archaeologists also found spindle holes made of terracotta and faience that were used to spin thread. Also actual piece of cloth attached to the lid of a silver vase, and some copper objects were found from Mohenjo-daro. So by this you can understand that the people were skilled at spinning and weaving. Toy making. Archaeologists have also found many terracotta toys like toy carts, toy plough, clay models of birds and animals, etc. So these kind of toys were found from the sites. And basically the Harappan children must have played with these toys. Art of writing. So the Harappan people were the people who knew how to write, and the script which was used to write was pictographic. They used pictographic script to write. So basically in this script, they each picture or a symbol represented a word or a sound. The writing was from right to left. The script has not been decipherable so far. Religion. Harappan people believed in some sort of image worship, and they worshipped the mother goddess who represented fertility. There was three-headed figure of a male god in a yogic posture who was surrounded by animals, and he considered to be a forerunner of Lord Shiva or Pashupati. And they also worshipped the humped bull, the dove, and the peepal tree. So this was basically the lifestyle of Harappan people, and you will find that they were skilled in pottery, sculpture and other things. They were knowing how to make clothes. They used clothes. Also they used pictographic script for writing. When you will look into their drainage system, it was excellent and brilliantly planned. Also the great bath, storage rooms. So these were the things which were found, and these are the important things. Now, how this Harappan civilization came to an end? So basically it began to end around 3900 years ago. The sites in Sindh and West Punjab were abundant, and many people moved into newer and smaller settlements to the east and the south. Now, what was the reason for their migration? Some of the scholars suggest that the rivers dried up, that is why they moved to new places, or there may have been floods in some area. Possibly deforestation occurred on a large scale because fuel was required for baking bricks and for smelting copper ores. So for this purpose they have done a lot of forest tree cutting, and deforestation occurred. It is also likely that grazing by large herds of cattle may have destroyed the green cover. But all these reasons do not seem to be just. Most probably the rulers lost their control. So there are many suggestions from the scholars. Now we will go through some case studies. So we will go through the case study of Dholavira, which is inside the subcontinent, and this city had fresh water and fertile land. It is located on Khadir Bed in the Rann of Kutch. This city was basically different from other Harappan cities. Other Harappan cities, they were divided into two parts, upper city and lower city. But this was different from that. This city was divided into three parts, and each part was surrounded by a massive stone wall, and there was an entrance made through the gateways. Also the settlements had open area where public ceremonies could be held. So you can see the Dholavira water harvesting conduct, Dholavira granary, Dholavira Vale, and the bathing area of the Dholavira. There were other findings also, like large letters of Harappan scripts were found. The letters were carved out of white stone and perhaps inlaid in wood. And this was a unique piece of finding. And Harappan writing has been found on small objects like seals. We just read about seals. Second important place is Lothal, which is also inside the subcontinent. So beside the tributary of Sabarmati in Gujarat, there was a city of Lothal. It was near the Gulf of Khambat. Now the raw materials like semi-precious stones were easily available in the nearby areas, and the city became an important center because of stone making, shell and metal objects. Now many seals and sealings were found in the storehouse. A building was found at Lothal, which was probably a bead making workshop. A piece of stone, bead making tool, semi-finished and finished beads have been recovered from the site. There was a dockyard at Lothal, and it was a huge tank where boats and ships came in from the sea and through the river channel. So goods were perhaps loaded and unloaded from this dockyard. So it is very important. Now we will discuss about Egypt, and this is outside the subcontinent. So Egypt is an ancient country. Except for the lands which is along the river Nile, most of country is dry desert. And kings ruled over Egypt around 5,000 years ago. Armies were dispatched by them to distant lands to fetch gold, silver, ivory, timber and precious stones. You can find pyramids which were built by these kings, and which is actually huge tombs. When the king died, their body were preserved and buried in these pyramids. And they used to preserve and bury the body in a special procedure. They were having a special procedure for that, and carefully preserved bodies were known as mummies. A large number of objects like food and drink items, clothes, ornaments, utensils, musical instruments, weapons, animals were buried with them. Even men and women who used to serve them, they were also buried with the ruler. So that they were having a concept that after death they would need these things. I hope you all understood all the topics taught in this video. Thank you.